Okay, in this video, I'm going to give some examples of how to draw planetary models for this course. Keep in mind, this is slightly a simplified version of how to draw a planetary model. My main concern for this lab is that you understand the number of electrons in the different shells, basically. So let's take a look here. Let me open up this whiteboard. Let me give you some examples. I'll give you a few examples, but if after the first example you think you get it, there's no need to finish watching the video. This is just some examples. So let's take a look at the periodic table here. Excuse me. There we go. Well, first let's start with a really easy one, which would be helium, right? So we can see here the periodic table of elements that its atomic number is 2. Therefore, we know it has 2 protons, and since I haven't said anything about it being charged, we know it also has 2 electrons. So this is going to look horrible, I will admit. So I apologize for the bad quality of this, but let's give it a try here. So here we have helium, right? I'm not even going to draw the nucleus. Let's just draw this first ring. And as you need to know, the first ring holds 2 electrons. So I'm just going to scribble 2 little electrons. There we go. Now, what we have here is helium, right? And again, normally you would put something to signify that the nucleus is there, but this is a very simplified version. So there we go. We have helium. So if there was a question that said, draw a planetary model of helium, there we go. We're done. Then if there was a question after that that said, draw helium with a -1 charge, well, we know that a -1 means it has an additional electron. So we can't just draw another electron on this shell because that shell is full because the innermost shell holds 2. So here, let's draw another ring here. And there we go. Now we have another ring. So I will draw another electron. And there we go. And I'll put a little -1 here to indicate also that it has a -1 charge. And this would suffice for my class, right? This is a very simplified version of how to draw a planetary model. So first I drew a helium, then I drew a helium with a -1 charge. So let me undo that, and then we'll do another example. Let's go back to the periodic table. Let's do beryllium. Beryllium's a great example. That's the one that's in the table. So, excuse me, let's go back. If you see here, again, beryllium's atomic number is 4. Therefore, we know it has 4 protons. And because we haven't said anything about being charged, we know that beryllium also has 4 electrons. So let's draw those 4 electrons. Once again, we'll draw that first ring that only holds 2 electrons. So here we go. 1, 2. And again, I apologize for how horrible that looks. So like we said, beryllium has 4 electrons. I've drawn 2, so I need to draw 2 more. Again, the first ring only holds 2. So here we go. I'll draw another ring so I can put 2 more electrons. And I'll just put them right here. 1, 2 electrons. So there we go. Beryllium. I've now drawn the planetary model for beryllium. Now, if there was a question that said, draw beryllium with a +1 charge, all right? In this case, unlike the last example, we're saying a +1 instead of a -1. So in this case, we need to get rid of an electron, right? Because if it's positive, it has more protons than electrons. So in this case, what you can't see is my keyboard, but I'm undoing what I did rather than redrawing completely. So there we go. Now we have 1, 2, 3 electrons, right? 3 electrons, but again, beryllium's number is 4, so we have 4 protons. Therefore, it has a +1 charge. And that's how you would draw planetary model of beryllium, and then a planetary model of beryllium with a +1 charge. Now I'll do one more example. Let me erase all this. We will go back to the periodic table and choose another element. Let's do fluorine, right? That's a good one. You can see its its atomic number is 9. So we'll go over here again. It's fluorine. We know its atomic number is 9. I'm just going to draw that right here. If its atomic number is 9, by definition, that means it has 9 protons. because I haven't said anything about it having a charge. Again, if it has 9 protons, it must have 9 electrons. So let's draw them. Here's the first ring. Once again, the first ring only holds 2 electrons, so I'll scribble them here. While I'm scribbling them here, I'll remind you again that this is a simplified version, which is why I'm not drawing anything for the nucleus. All right, there we go. We've got our 2 electrons, but like we said, fluorine has 9. So if we have 2 drawn, that means we need 7 more. So let's draw this next ring. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that's it. That's a planetary model for fluorine. And I can double check myself to make sure it has 9 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. It is good. Now, if the next question were to ask, draw fluorine with a -2 charge. Well, -2 means we're going to need 2 more electrons. So here we go. I'll draw one more. But look at this. Now we have a full ring, right? Because we know this second ring holds 8 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've only added 1 electron. I need 1 more. So that means I'm going to need another ring. There we go. Draw that extra electron. Put a little little -2 here to indicate that thing has a -2 charge. And there we go. That's it. That's how you draw a planetary model. Again, keep in mind, this is a simplified version, but this will suffice for the lab in this 100 level biology course. And that's it. Obviously, if you have any questions, you could Google this and see demonstrations from other people, or of course, ask me or your instructor if I happen to not be your instructor.